It wasn't just a home run. It was a promise, a warning, a roar that echoed past the bleachers and into baseball legend. October 1st, 1932. Chicago Cubs versus the New York Yankees. Game 3 of the World Series. The Cubs were already drowning, down 2-0. By night's end, they'd be gasping for air. "Keep up the pepper, boys," Cubs manager Charlie Grimm pleaded. But there was no pepper hot enough for what was coming. On a warm Chicago afternoon, 78 degrees in October, Babe Ruth walked into Wrigley Field like a storm cloud with a grin. During batting practice, he launched ball after ball into the seats. 6 of them, maybe more. Sports writers swore he knew something, like he could feel it in his bones. He walked past the Cubs dugout. "You mugs ain't going back to New York," he barked. "Series ends here." The Cubs howled back. Their bench jockeys chirped. Lemons rained down from the stands. One smacked Ruth in the leg. He just laughed. Top of the first, 2 men on. Cubs ace Charlie Root tried to get clever. One swing, a violent, sweeping lash of that famous bat. The ball climbed into the blue Chicago sky and never came down until it reached the right field bleachers. 3-run home run. Silence. Then chaos. 3-0 Yankees. But the Cubs wouldn't fold. They clawed back. Tied at 4-4. The crowd roared with hope. Then came the 5th inning. Ruth stepped up. 3 bats over his shoulder. The boos were deafening. From the dugout, Cubs pitcher Guy Bush leaned forward, spewing insults. Strike 1. Ruth held up a finger towards the bench. Strike 2. 2 fingers now. "That's only 2, he shouted. "I still have 1 left." Guy Bush crept closer, barking louder. Ruth raised his hand, a gesture, a signal. Was it to the bleachers or to the dugout? The answer remains in baseball lore. Charlie Root fired a changeup. Low, outside. The crack sounded like a gunshot. The ball shot towards center field on a screaming line. Johnny Moore drifted back, then stopped, then stared. Gone. Over the fence, past the flagpole, into the street. Ruth didn't sprint. He marched. After second base, he slowed, jawing at the Cubs dugout. The Yankees poured out, delirious. And before the inning was over, Lou Gehrig crushed his second home run of the day. 6-4. The Cubs were finished. In the 9th, Bush tried one last jab from the bullpen, told Ruth to move towards the foul line for the final hitter. Ruth shuffled over, mocking him. "Is this the right spot?" Strikeout, ground out, ground out. Ball game. As he jogged in, Ruth tossed one more line towards Guy Bush. "See you tomorrow." He did. And the next day, the Yankees finished the sweep. The Cubs kept up the pepper, but the Babe, he had the last laugh.